Hello and welcome to the Mental Health Hotline.
Prologue. March 9th. The call to board ship would arrive at noon. I wouldn't need to be called. I knew miraculously when my foot left the sand, the island would begin a Leviathan descent. Had I done it for the blood of my country? The money? Would I Trojan horse the murderous fools on my back, let them crash against America's public eye? I was certain safe harbor laws would protect me. Were my discoveries at the mountain temple all I needed to renegotiate a dreamed America? Our lovely tide controller would help me get my land legs back, or the native Indians would sort me out, surely. Would the ship have the navigational equipment? Chronometer, prismatic rose compass, sextant? If not, my red sari wrapped a sufficient set. The beach lies triangulated between two promontories, one spiny and sharp, the other tall and sheer. Soft tan sands form a scythe between them extending into the Pacific. Soon bridge construction will span the harbor and lash landscape and habitat with a carbon maelstrom. For now, a noonday sea carries hot, humid, buoyant air pushing ashore whitecaps surfing on indigo waves. Da Chin's scroll warms my hand, not one of discipline or war. In the sun I decipher the characters bound within. The Argo is not only a ship, I thought, peering more closely at the scroll. It sails today on air. Its name is also Argonaut. No one knows the Argonaut of ancients. I will never see one. The one could skim the ocean horizon any moment. Health, luck, delight. The triotone seventh, I've heard it called. Nautilus, Pompilius. That turn the ship around, that no one knows, that gets here tomorrow. Am I dumb or vain to set a coin to my thumb? I'll state a question with no mark. Is a ship one with holes? 7 months before I left for Asia, I heard the news. A journeyman carpenter keeping the family tradition alive had graduated from college the year before. That day I pulled up to the house where I was replacing some soffit, fascia, and crown molding, and a man's voice on the radio reincarnated Orson Welles in the classic The War of the Worlds.
We all know that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man.
This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. Two towers, a huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way. What we know we have to do is just keep running the other way.
His staccato, indrawn, and incredulous voice betrayed how stunned he was by his own pronouncements.
They were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water.
2 jetliners had crashed into the Twin Towers and brought them down in hellfire, forced suicides, and ash. I shut off the radio, staring at morning sunlight play with dust motes on the dashboard. Irked by an inability to comprehend, I got out, grabbed tool belt, toolbox, ladder. In the cool morning, head peeking over the second story, birds singing in the clean autumn air, a shadowed face suddenly appeared at my knees, birdsong turned upside down. It was Damien, the house owner's son-in-law. "Did you hear the news?" he asked, eyes alight with apprehension and appraisal. "Yeah, when I pulled up." His pinched fingers thrust between the ladder rungs. "Want some?" We'd shared some before, and chuckling, climbing down a few rungs to level our faces, I sighed at the spliff regretfully. I'd like to, but I'm afraid I'd work the same piece of wood all day long, or measure once and cut twice, then fall off my ladder. Maybe today you should get down off your ladder. Smoke billowed out his mouth, cotton candied the air. I inhaled, watched his receding face. Earlier that spring, I received a grant for exploring film noir techniques in U.S. culture circa 1930 to 1950. The Maltese Falcon starring Humphrey Bogart is considered by many the first real noir. Others say Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blows edges Bogart out on first dibs to the honor. After watching Casablanca for the 6th and last time, I saw another film, Tokyo Ga.
delusional, press 7 and your call will be transferred to the mothership.